Hello everybody, how's it going? So I had to do this video the normal way instead of using Facebook Live. There seems to be a telecommunications company that's doing work in the area with regards to lines and poles and stuff like that. Apparently they're not finished as yet, because even on my other phone with that telecommunications company I wasn't able to get any reception on it whatsoever. I wasn't able to make calls or receive calls. It's crazy, but I am able to do it with this network that this phone that I'm using now is on. There are two main telecommunications companies in Jamaica, and um they've monopolized the system. So that's the type of thing that we deal with in a country like this. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the role of a system. So many persons tend to underestimate what a system can do and how effective it can be. And in different areas of your life, you're going to need a system. You're going to need a system to help you manage your time. You're going to need a system to help you get work done, help you get more productive. You're going to need a system for how to have the right diet. You're going to need a system for how to exercise properly. You're going to need a system for how to manage your health. So the issue with a lot of people is that they tend to look at things in a linear, one-sided fashion. And what that does, it limits your mindset and it limits your creativity. And not only that, it also limits your focus, because if you don't know how to delegate tasks to systems and organize your life in a systematic manner, then you're gonna have chaos, and you're gonna have little things that eat into your time, because you might not know how to manage your time properly. Hence, you're always gonna need a system. So instead of thinking in a linear fashion, you know, you probably might have to read more upon what's out there, and you can decide what system will work for you based on the stage of life that you're in. So for example, I have a system for eating. I have a system for managing my work, managing my time and stuff like that. Even though I prefer to do certain things myself, I'm still able to pass them on into a system or over to a system. So let's take let's take marketers for example, right? What a lot of marketers do is that they put themselves in a box without even realizing it. So they pitch their services, and they tend to only mention one thing, and that one thing is probably what they're good at the most. So they'll message someone and say, hey, I do Facebook ads, or I do Instagram ads for businesses, etc., blah blah blah. No, that's not really an effective way to for them to market themselves, because what they do is that they put the expectations of the prospect in a box, as well as they put their own expectations in a little box. So usually in a case like that, the prospect is able to already say to themselves, oh, I know what this person is coming with, I'm not interested. So instead of doing that, what they should do, what those service providers should do, is they should offer the prospect a system instead, so that the prospect is able to you have to know how to dangle the bait, so to speak, not in a negative way to say that you're gonna manipulate anyone or anything like that. But what they should do is they should keep the prospect They should keep the prospect thinking so that that dopamine level gets built up. Dopamine is basically the pleasure hormone, I believe it is, right? So instead of instead of putting your services in a box, instead of them putting their services in a box, what they should do is sell a system, sell a system. So you have prospects out there who they have certain expectations, and if you're not able to, first of all, if you're not able to communicate those expectations, and worse, if you're not able to manage their expectations, then you're gonna lose the prospect. So what I've found is that, and by the way, just to slip this in, I still have mentors. No matter how experienced you are, you're still gonna need mentors, because you're never too old to learn. Now, we have mentors that tell us do not take on anyone for less than $1,000 per month, or the equivalent of that based on the country that the prospect is in. No, we understand that not all economies are the same. So people like myself were able to provide the service for less than $1,000 per month, and that's dependent upon the client, the prospect's goals, stage in business, willingness level, interest level, and stuff like that, ability to scale, scalability of the product, of the service, etc. Right? So the thing is, we're still able to assemble the service at a reasonable value-based price, and we're still able to deliver results. I've had first-time clients who spent $100 and they've made almost 2,000 US dollars in revenue. I was gonna say 200,000 Jamaican dollars, because that's the equivalent in 2,000 US dollars is 200,000 Jamaican dollars. So in the US it would have been 2,000 US dollars in revenue if that company was based in the US. Right? So I know that we're able to assemble the service for a reasonable price based on value. Now, what happens with service providers who don't position their services the right way and don't manage their prospects or clients' expectations, what happens is that sometimes the client will get leads and they're not able to close all of them for whatever reason. So, instead of blaming the client, and I'm going to be straightforward, some of the clients are to be blamed for not being able to close the sale, because a lot of us, we specifically tell them that we are responsible for lead generation and they are actually responsible to make the close. However, what I have done is I've found a solution that doesn't focus on blaming the client. So what I've done is I structure the follow-up process for them, the follow-up sales process. So let's say that the business gets inquiries or leads. What we do is we actually put them in a system, and we structure the follow-up process from within that database system. So what it does, it puts them on a database, and we use a retention strategy. So, we will send them follow-up messages like, hey, I noticed that you didn't schedule your appointment as yet. Or we say, hey, or sometimes we send them something interesting, like interesting content, updates with regards to the business, etc., so that those prospects, even if they're not ready to buy as yet, they will get reminded to follow up, get reminded to book their appointment. And sometimes most times what we do is we ask them to provide their contact information. So there's a system and app that I help businesses use where the prospect can actually input that data. They can input their name, email, contact, phone number, and it gets logged onto a database which can also be provided to the client, and that client gets notified in real time. So what we do is we focus on an entire system. So what a lot of entrepreneurs do is that they focus on only one part of the entire whole instead of focusing on the whole as the sum of different parts being put into the whole. So focus on the whole, WHOLE, focus on the whole instead of just one medium or one thing. Because what happens is it's not about the medium, it's more about the destination, the results at the end of the tunnel. It's more about the light at the end of the tunnel than what you have to go through to get to the end of the tunnel, if you understand what I'm saying. So I just wanted to get that out there. I'm not gonna be spending too long on these videos. I try to spend at least 15 minutes maximum, and I've almost gone up to 12 minutes. So I will leave it there for now. I'm out. I will see you in the next video.